As cliche as gratitude has become in these last few years, it's gotten harder to really lean into it as a meaningful practice that can actually make a difference in our chaotic lives as moms. Which is why this episode is focused on diving into what gratitude really means and why it's something more than just good manners for our kids or a nice to have practice when we can fit it in. I'll be sharing how gratitude can be a game changer for your mental health, how it strengthens the bond with our kids, and how it actually makes our daily juggle a bit more manageable. We often hear about gratitude, but let's be honest, sometimes it feels like just another thing on our never-ending to-do list. I get it. That's why we're talking about 5 super simple gratitude activities that you can seamlessly integrate into your routine. These aren't just random ideas, they're practical ways that fit into your busy life without adding more stress. And because we're all about making things practical here, I'll also walk you through the specific qualities of gratitude that you can focus on in case you're like me and often find yourself at a loss for what to focus on. Because this isn't about generic thank yous, it's about recognizing and appreciating the real everyday contributions of our family and friends. So if you've ever felt like gratitude is just another buzzword or something that's nice in theory but hard to practice, this episode's for you. Stick around to discover how those small shifts can bring some significant changes to your family life. If that's what you need more of in your life today, you're in the right place. Let's simplify things together. I'm Erin Christopoulos, a mother of 2 and teacher-turned-mom strategist who puts the pieces of mom life together so you don't have to. I get that you're short on time and don't have the capacity to figure out everything on your own, which is why I'm here to help you get clear on where to put your focus while protecting your time and energy so you can actually enjoy these years with your little ones. I'm ditching the overwhelming and unrealistic one-size-fits-all tactics and replacing them with an approach that's practical and personal, because I believe your family is one of a kind with its own qualities and values that deserve an adaptable approach, offering support and encouragement where you need it most. From honest conversations and mindset shifts to practical tips and sustainable strategies, consider this your customizable guide to mom life. With the tools and resources you need at your fingertips, you'll finally have the confidence and clarity you need to bring more intention and ease to everyday life so that you and your family thrive. This is the Mom Life Handbook. So because the word gratitude gets thrown around so often in the online space, I think it's really important that we get on some common ground and get clear on what gratitude means in the context of this podcast episode. Appreciation is a feeling that we can have toward another person. Gratitude is an actionable habit of expressing that appreciation directly to the people who have caused us to feel that appreciation in the first place. Now, this can be a daily practice. It doesn't have to be. I really think that when you can fit in gratitude intentionally, a big piece of that is that it has to fit in to your life and integrate seamlessly. So don't feel like you have to do this every day, but I think you'll find that the more that you practice gratitude, the more you're going to want to do it. And I really do hope that that's the case. And I think that when it comes to being intentional as moms, this is a practice that's not only important for ourselves, but it's something that is really valuable to model for our kids and for them to learn what it looks like to express gratitude to other people that make a difference in their lives. If we want to raise a generation of kids who are thoughtful, appreciative, considerate, part of that means having the ability to look beyond themselves and to not only consider others, but also appreciate the exchanges that are happening between them and the people supporting them. So really, this isn't just about teaching our kids to say thank you. This is really about instilling in them the value of appreciating the good that they have in their lives and making sure that they don't take it for granted. What I love most about gratitude is that it's a tool for creating a positive family atmosphere. And I think especially for our kids, it's also helpful for them to even just be grateful for the things that you have in your home. So don't think that this means that you have to go out and constantly be reaching out to other people. Gratitude is a practice that can happen right in your home, whether it's you are practicing expressing that appreciation directly to one another, or you do simple activities or exercises that help draw your kids' attention toward that feeling of appreciation. And even just expressing that aloud to other family members can be really meaningful and really programming their mind in terms of looking for those opportunities to express gratitude. But before we dive into the specifics of what you could be doing in your home to practice gratitude, it's important that we take time to consider the benefits of gratitude, because there's a lot of research that's come out in recent years around how expressing gratitude isn't just something that makes you feel good in the moment. It actually has benefits that go much deeper than that. Practicing gratitude on a routine basis is something that's going to help you improve the quality of your mental health. It's linked to lower stress levels and depression because it fosters that positive mindset and therefore helps improve your overall well-being. And because you're fostering that positive mindset, it also enhances our emotional regulation, which I feel like I, as a mom, need to be practicing that. My kids are still developing those skills. Like, this is an ongoing journey for our family in terms of learning emotional regulation. And practicing gratitude is really going to help you manage your emotions more effectively, because you can lean into recognizing the positives in a tricky moment, or you recognize the people in your life who can help you make those moments easier, and you can lean on them, and that makes things easier too. So as a result, we're also then able to tolerate when we are in difficult moments, because we also have leaned so much into all the good that we also have going on in our lives. And something that I love personally when practicing gratitude in my home is the way that it strengthens the relationship between family members. Expressing gratitude really is that opportunity to help someone really feel seen and appreciated. And I think that the people that we live with tend to be the people that we express this to the least. And really, they're the ones helping us get through every day. And we should be expressing gratitude to them the most, I dare say. I love seeing how practicing gratitude in our home has allowed for deeper connections and for us to really model what it looks like to appreciate one another. And I see how the more I model it, the more my family picks up on it and does it as well. And it just feels so good. So with that, you'll also find that practicing gratitude personally and with your children helps promote positive behavior. When you are regularly practicing gratitude, you're more likely to engage in positive behaviors that follow. And that includes helping others, showing kindness, being more patient. And I feel like these are all qualities that we would love to see more of in our children, and probably some of the other people in our houses as well, in our lives as well. So I wanted to come up with 5 really simple ideas for what gratitude could look like in your home. And then I will also break down for you 10 different qualities of gratitude so that you feel like you have some clarity around what are some of the things that you could show appreciation for. So let's start with some activities that you could do, and then you could contextualize those using the qualities that speak most to you. So the first is do some habit stacking. If you don't already have a practice of expressing gratitude, then it can be hard to keep it top of mind. So something that makes it a little easier is to stack that new habit on top of a habit you already have established. So one thing that works really well in our house is we already take time at the end of the day to cuddle up, read a good book, be cozy. And it's the perfect time for us to just connect as individuals and tell each other what we're really grateful for about them. Other times a day that might be a constant in your lives are the commute to and from school or daycare, sitting around the dinner table. Just look for those times when you could layer in gratitude. Another one might just be while your kids are getting ready to brush their teeth And it's okay if your kids don't want to participate in any of these. I think that even just, again, modeling it and saying what you appreciate about your kids can really start to help them really feel the difference that gratitude makes, and then they're more likely to engage in it over time. Another idea is to grab a stack of Post-its and just leave little notes around the house or in your kids' lunch boxes. You could put them in the car for your partner to see when they get in there to go to work one day. It's just such a simple way to say, hey, I was thinking of you and I really appreciate this about you. If you're looking to express gratitude to people outside of your home, maybe extended family members or friends who are just always there for you, or caregivers who are a constant in your child's life, text them a video or send them a voice memo and just share 30 seconds of your day to express a moment of gratitude to them. And this is something you could do personally. This is also something you could do with the kids. I know my kids love taking a video or sending a voice memo to people that really matter to them. And it just makes everyone's day to be sending those messages, to be receiving those messages. It's so simple and yet so impactful. Another idea is to just grab a poster board the next time you're at the store and hang it up somewhere where your family's going to see it. Maybe the mudroom where you're spending some time, putting shoes on, getting coats on and zipping up. If you've got kids who are waiting around for other family members to finish up, having a gratitude poster board just hung up on the wall for them to read or add to would be a really great way to just connect in those quick moments throughout the week. And one of my kids' favorite ways for me to express gratitude to them is when I grab a dry erase marker and I leave them a thoughtful message on their bathroom mirror. It stays up all week long until their bathroom gets cleaned and then a new message goes up. And it's the simplest thing, but they love it so much. Now, you might have an idea of one gratitude practice that speaks to you and you want to try out, but you might be wondering, okay, but what do I say? This is where these 10 qualities of gratitude come in. Here are some kind of categories, I guess you could say, to help you really get clear on what you could focus the gratitude on. So I'm going to go through these real quick and then we're going to wrap up today's episode. So the first is to recognize when someone has shown you an act of kindness. What is it that they've done that could have been small and insignificant, but really did mean something to you? Let them know about it. Did they say something that was encouraging or motivating to you that helped you get out of a moment of doubt or struggle? Let them hear what that meant to you. Sometimes we have family and friends who offer really valuable advice, and sometimes it can be the most fleeting, passing comment that they give that just strikes a chord with us in the best way possible. Tell them about that. It's really meaningful to hear how just those small moments of connection can make such a big difference. And then, obviously, if someone makes you laugh or it lightens your mood, sometimes we really need that levity. So let them know, like, hey, I really appreciated when you sent me that reel the other day. It just brought a smile to my face and I really needed it. Sometimes there are the people in our lives too who are just consistent and reliable. And just being that constant presence in your life is enough to reach out to them and say, hey, I really appreciate how consistently you show up for me or how consistently you're there for my kids. Recognizing that investment of time or just even that availability is so meaningful because I think so often that's taken for granted or it can be perceived as being taken for granted because we don't talk about it. You can express gratitude for the role someone's had in your personal growth or for supporting you in changes in your life. For those who offer companionship and friendship to you, you can show appreciation for them by talking about the joy that they bring into your life because of who they are. And then lastly, for those who just show you unconditional love and acceptance, that might be the most meaningful thing anyone could do for any of us. And that includes our kids and the love that they have for us and how forgiving they can be toward us. So make sure that you let your family especially know how much you appreciate that about them. That's a wrap on today's episode about bringing genuine, straightforward gratitude into our lives as busy moms. We started this conversation talking about family gratitude, and I hope by now that this phrase feels a little less like a buzzword and more like a doable, meaningful part of your everyday life. We've gone through what gratitude really means beyond just saying thanks and why it's so crucial not just for us, but for our kids too. Remember, it's about recognizing the small acts, the daily efforts, and the love that surrounds us, even in the midst of our often chaotic lives. I encourage you to pick one of those 5 simple activities to help weave gratitude into your everyday routine, whether it's habit stacking during bedtime, leaving little post-it notes, or just sending a quick voice memo. These are small steps that can lead to big shifts in how we feel and interact with our loved ones. And be sure to rely on those 10 qualities of gratitude. They're your go-to for focusing on what really matters and showing appreciation in a way that's authentic to you. The takeaway here is that incorporating gratitude into our parenting isn't about adding another task to our day. It's about shifting our mindset, noticing the good around us, and acknowledging it. This small change can make a huge difference in our mental health, our relationships, and how we model behavior for our kids. By showing them what gratitude looks like in action, we're giving them a skill that will serve them well throughout their lives. I encourage you to pick just one thing that we discussed today. Try it out, see how it feels, notice the changes in your family dynamics over time, and remember, you're not just going through the motions. You're building a foundation of gratitude for yourself, your children, and your family as a whole. And before we go, I wanted to share something with you. A little thank you to this amazing community that we've built. I'm doing a weekly giveaway from now through the end of the year. It's a small way to connect with you, the listeners who make this all possible. Each week, I'm inviting 3 dedicated listeners for a casual private coffee chat with me. It's a chance for us to sit down virtually and have a real talk about motherhood, life, or anything else that's on your mind. If you'd like to enter this giveaway, it's a simple 3-step process that will take you less than a minute. Send me a quick DM on Instagram at Mom Life Handbook with just the word review. I'll reply with a link to leave a rating and review for the podcast. And then once you've done that, just DM me a screenshot of your review. It's as easy as that. I'll be announcing our weekly winners every Monday on Instagram stories, so be sure to check to see if you are one of our weekly winners. And remember, you can submit new reviews each week to enter again. And the good news is we're a close-knit group here. Your chances of winning are pretty solid. These coffee chats are a way for us to connect on a more personal level, and I'm really excited about it. Your support and involvement mean the world to me, so thank you. I can't wait for us to have some great one-on-one conversations together. And as we wrap up this week's episode, remember, mom life is complex, but it doesn't have to be complicated. Here's to leading with purpose and intention as you simplify mom life in the week ahead. You've just finished another episode of the Mom Life Handbook podcast. Remember to check out the episode description for all the important links and highlights from today's show. While you're there, tap the subscribe button so that new episodes are always at your fingertips. Before you go, I'd really appreciate hearing your thoughts about the show. It takes as little as 30 seconds to leave a review, and your honest thoughts help me create a better show and help other moms discover it too. And if this episode really helped you out, go ahead and hit the share button to text it to a friend or share it on social media. You never know who in your life might benefit from a little extra support. Don't forget, there are lots of ways to stay connected beyond the podcast. Head over to momlifehandbook.com for additional resources or to learn about how to work with me. And be sure to follow along on Instagram at momlifehandbook. Send me a DM to say hey or to share your thoughts on today's episode. Connecting with you personally is what I really love most. And just in case you need to hear it today, you're doing an incredible job. I know it doesn't always feel like it, but you're here, learning how to be better and do better. Keep working to bring more intention and ease into your life, and know that I'm right here cheering you on. You're creating a beautiful journey for you and your family. I am so proud of you.